and welcome to Ivy English. I'm Angela.
And I'm Wesley.
Today we have a vocabulary test for you. And it's a closed test, which means you have to pick a word that fills into a blank. And we will say blank when we read the sentences. So let's start with number 1. Due to blank faith in a dishonest financial advisor, the old man made unwise investments and lost all his life savings. A tragedy in one sentence. What kind of faith did he have in this financial advisor who ultimately bilked him of his money? Did he have weak faith? He didn't have very strong faith. Did he have lousy faith? Lousy means like terrible...
Very bad.
Bad quality.
Yeah.
He had bad quality faith. That doesn't make sense. How about blind faith? He had faith where he couldn't see anything. Oh, in a way, that might be the answer, because if you have blind faith, it means you believe in something without really looking at it. And then the last one is smooth faith. My faith is smooth. It's not rough or bumpy. That doesn't make any sense. Let's pick blind faith. That's actually a collocation, to believe in something without questioning it. Due to blind faith in a dishonest financial advisor, the old man made unwise investments and lost all his life savings.
好，所以我们看到题目，它说 due to 因为什么样的一种 faith 就是信仰或者是信任。好，那他信任什么样？信任了一个 dishonest 不老实的 financial advisor 财务的顾问。所以呢，这位老人他怎么样呢 ？made unwise investments。好 ，to make investments 就是投资，那他做的投资是不明智的 unwise 的投资。然后呢 ，lost 失去了 all his life savings， 他一辈子毕生的积蓄叫做 life savings， 就是毕生积蓄，他统统丢了，统统失去了。好，那我们来看看选项 A weak 是虚弱的因为他有一个虚弱的信仰或者信心信这个不老实的财务顾问。那如果他是这样子不是很信的话，那应该不会受骗，所以这个不对而且通常也不会讲这个due to weak faith in 某一个人那 B lousy 是很糟糕很差劲的那其实信仰本身除非他是这个有一些骗人的，不然的话呢，信仰本身其实没有什么好跟不好的问题所以 B 也不对。那 C blind 这个就是对了，因为 blind faith 是一个常见的 collocation， 那 blind 在这里就是 unquestioning 的意思，就不会质疑，没有提出问题的。好，所以我们常常讲说 blind faith， 有的时候我们会讲 blind loyalty L-O-Y-A-L-T-Y 盲目的忠诚那所以在这里我们选 blind 非常好。那 D smooth 是光滑的，好，那我们可以想到一个 a smooth surface 一个光滑的表面，但是你说光滑的信仰那是什么东西呢doesn't make sense， 所以不对。那我们选 C blind， 那就是 blind faith， 把它记起来就是盲目的信仰。
Number 2, how the pyramids were constructed has been a blank. Numerous theories have been brought up, but there is no exact answer. Okay, I'm going to do the closed test first, and then I'm going to tell you that this sentence is a lie. First of all, how the pyramids were constructed has been a blank. So if as the sentence says, there is no exact answer, then we don't know how the pyramids are constructed. So the blank has to be something like a mystery. We don't know something. So A, method is a way of doing things. B, puzzle is something that's hard to figure out. C, solution is the answer. And D, judgment is your faculty for deciding things. So clearly puzzle is the best answer. It's the closest thing to mystery here. And so how the pyramids were constructed has been a puzzle. Numerous theories have been brought up, but there is no exact answer. So this is not actually true because the pyramids themselves have writing on them, which have told us exactly how they did it. It's actually known how the pyramids were constructed. It is not a puzzle, but people like to pretend it is for, I don't know, reasons. This has not got updated in our cultural knowledge.
好，所以呢，这个 Angel 老师说呢，其实他们现在发现，在金字塔里面呢，金字塔怎么建造的，其实金字塔里面都有写所以现在的人已经知道当初他们是怎么造的。好，那不过我们看到这个句子呢，我们来练习英文。好，那我们看到第一个句子呢，它主词是一个子句，How the pyramids were constructed， 一个名词子句。 意思就是金字塔是怎么样被建造起来的， construct 就是建造。那这件事情呢 has been 一直是一个什么呢？好，那我们再看后面那一句给我们线索来判断。后面那句说 numerous theories 有很多的理论 have been brought up 被提出来了。好，所以你可以 bring up a theory 就提出一个 theory。所以到目前为止 have been 已经有很多的理论被提出来了，但是 there is no exact answer 各位也可以把它整个背起来。 there is no exact answer 就是没有一个确切的答案。好，那我们看看要选什么呢？那既然是很多人根据这个句子他说很多人提出理论但是没有确切答案，所以他到底怎么建造起来的应该是一个还没有解决的问题。所以我们来看看 A 选项 method 它是方法。上我们讲说 teaching methods 就是教学方法，那放在这里显然不对因为它方法是已经确知的。那 B puzzle 这个就对了，因为 puzzle 它是谜或者是令人费解的事。好像有的人喜欢这个，以前报纸上都会有那种猜字游戏那就是 a crossword puzzle crossword 就 CROSSWORD。好，那或者是你如果猜出一个谜，你可以说 to solve a puzzle SOLVE。所以这是我们正确答案。那我们看 C 这个选项 solution 它是解决办法a solution to a problem 或者是 the solution to yesterday's puzzle 昨天那个谜题我们答案是什么？所以 solution 是解答或者解决办法，那放在这里也不对因为这跟后面那句话意思不合。那 D judgment 是判断我们可以 make a judgment。好，所以看完之后我们知道正确答案应该是 puzzle。金字塔怎么建造的呢？一直是个 puzzle。
Number 3. Upon receiving your online purchase, you should blank it for damage. If there is any quality problem, you can return it or exchange it. So a purchase is something you've bought, and when you've received the thing you've bought online, your online purchase, you should do something to it for damage. Probably you should look at it and see if it's got any problems so that you can return it right away. So let's look for a word that is like looks like. A, hatch means like a bird comes out of an egg. B, scratch means to deliberately make a mark on something by cutting into it. C, appoint means to give somebody a position, like you appoint a judge or you appoint somebody into a position. And D, inspect. Inspect means to look at something carefully. So D is our answer. Upon receiving your online purchase, you should inspect it for damage. If there is any quality problem, you can return or exchange it.
这个 upon 就是 as soon as 你一收到 receiving 你的 online purchase 就是你网购的商品， purchase 就是指你买的东西，那你应该要怎样呢？好，我们正确答案选 D inspect 你要检查检视。好，这个 inspect 这个 in 就是 in 往里面，那 spect 这个字根是看的意思，所以 inspect 就是往里面看仔细看看有没有什么问题所以这是我们正确答案。那你应该要 inspect it， 那 for 是表示你要找的东西，你检查你就要找找看有没有什么，有没有 damage 有没有损伤。然后呢 if there's any 如果有任何的 quality problem 有任何的品质的问题的话呢 you can return 你可以退货，或者是 exchange it 就是指你买到的东西exchange 就是更换，也就是说你可以退货 return 或者是换货。好，那我们看其他选项 A hatch 就是孵蛋的那个孵它可以是不及物动词the eggs are about to hatch 或者是及物动词 to hatch an egg 都可以但是不管怎么样都不是我们的答案。B scratch 是抓或者是搔的意思所以例如你可以 scratch a mosquito bite 或者 scratch at a mosquito bite 就是蚊子咬你去抓那就是用 scratch 这个字。C appoint 是任命指定或者指派你也可以 appoint somebody to do something。 好，但是呢这三个都不是答案，我们要选 inspect。
Number 4. To tell whether a mango is blank enough, press it gently with your fingers. A hard mango is not ready for eating. The reason they tell you to press it gently with your fingers is they don't want you to like drill a hole into it. So you need to see if it's something enough. What are we looking for? Well, we want to know if we can eat it, and we only can eat mangoes that are ready. So we're looking for a word that means ready. A, ripe. Well, if some fruit is ripe, that means it's ready to eat. So that's our answer. Our other choice is B, solid. Means like it's
hard.
No, solid means it's full. of material. There's no air in it. There's no other water in it. It's full through of immovable material. And then C, frozen means it's been put in the freezer or that it's been left outside in sub-zero temperatures and it's just really cold. That's a layman's definition. And G, gigantic just means huge.
好，所以我们看到这个句子呢，他说 to tell 是分辨的意思，你要分辨一个芒果是不是，那我们需要选的答案是 ripe 成熟，好，你要看这个芒果是不是够熟，好 ripe enough， 那你就 press it， 就压它，但是要 gently 啊，轻轻的压 with your fingers， 用手指。那为什么我们知道要选这个 ripe 呢？因为我们看后面那一句话，他说 a hard mango 啊，一个硬的摸起来硬的芒果呢is not ready for eating 啊，就是还不能吃，那个 for 表示目的。好，所以太硬的不能吃，所以它要你摸摸看，那就是要看它熟了没有，可以吃的没有，所以我们要选 ripe。那我们看 B 这个选项 solid 是坚硬的啊，我们刚刚讲 hard 就是它如果是坚硬的话，讲 solid ground 就感觉起来是蛮硬的地面。那刚刚 Angela 老师讲那个 solid 的定义呢，可以翻译成实心的啊，就是例如说 solid rock 啊，那就是实心的石头。好，那 C frozen 是冰冻的，我们常常讲 frozen meat 就是冷冻肉，那 frozen foods 就是冷冻食品。那 D gigantic 是巨大的啊，那但是 B、C、D 都不合这个句子，我们选 ripe。
One more meaning for solid means continuous all the way through or contiguous.
Oh, yeah.
Like if a solid color is only one color all the way through.
哦，所以是一致的啊，那是 solid 另外一个意思。所以我们讲 a solid color 就是它那个颜色是一致的。
Number 5, nervous about making a presentation before the entire class, the student blank walked onto the stage. So how did the student walk onto the stage? Some way nervously because they're nervous about this presentation. So our choices are delightfully, full of joy. Or B, frequently, the student did this a lot. Or C, casually, walked on stage in blue jeans and didn't really care. Or D, timidly. Timidly is another way of saying slightly scared or with a habit of scaredness. And so timidly is pretty close to nervous, so let's use that. Nervous about making a presentation before the entire class, the student timidly walked onto the stage.
好，这个 nervous about 前面省略了一个 being 啊，这个是个分词构句。所以呢，他现在状态是对什么事情感到很紧张呢？对于 making a presentation 就是做口头报告非常紧张，而且这个口头报告是 before the entire class 是整个课全班之前他要做口头报告，那他非常紧张，所以这位学生怎么样呢？他 walked onto the stage 就走上台，好，叫做 walked onto the stage。那他很紧张，所以他走上台的时候一定是很胆怯的。我们选 D timidly。好，那 A delightfully 是很愉快的，那他很紧张了，怎么会愉快呢？ B frequently 是很频繁的啊，他显然就是我们谈的是他这一次做口头报告，所以跟频繁没有关系。C casually 就是不经意地走上去，很紧张也不会很 casual， 所以 C 也不对，我们选 D timidly。
Number 6, after being surrounded for several hours, the suspect stopped hiding, blank to the police, and confessed his crime. So I guess under pressure of being surrounded by the police, surrounded means that all escapes have been cut off. So the suspect, somebody who is considered to be guilty of a crime but hasn't been proven yet, so we have to call them a suspect, not a criminal, because they haven't been charged in court yet. So the person we suspect of having done a crime, this person stopped hiding, and they did something to the police. Usually, at this point, it means they would come out to the police or allow the police to take them into custody. That's the word we're looking for here. And the first one, A, adapted, means you changed yourself to the circumstance, but you can't change yourself to the police. B, emerged. Now, emerged does mean come out. So you can come out to the police, but you can't emerge to somebody. You can emerge from something. That's just a collocation and grammar issue in English. And then C, you surrender to the police. This is the most common collocation in this situation. If you surrender to somebody, you say, I give up, you can take me into custody, I will put myself into your power. So it's not just that he's coming out, it's also that he's giving the police power over him. So he's surrendered to the police. And then D, proposed. If you propose to somebody, you ask them to marry you or you ask them to join you in a project. And he's doing neither to the police. So choose C. After being surrounded for several hours, the suspect stopped hiding, surrendered to the police, and confessed his crime.
好，所以他被包围几个小时之后呢，这一位嫌犯 stopped 就是不再 hiding 不再躲藏了，这是他做的第一件事情。第二件事情呢，他怎么样 to the police， 他应该是我们选 C surrendered to the police， 就是对警方投降。好，然后呢，第三件事情 confessed his crime， 坦诚他的罪行，他的犯罪。那我们看到其他选项 A adapted 是适应，好，你可以 adapt to new environments 或者 adapt to the new job， 但是你不会说 adapt to the police， 好，所以不对。那 B emerge 是出现，通常也不会加 emerge to somebody， 也不对。那 C 是正确答案。D proposed 是提议或者是求婚啊，那你也不会跟警察求婚，所以 D 也不对，我们选 surrender。
Number 7. Although Catherine and Anita were classmates back in high school, they never formed a bond of friendship. They're just blank. So if you have a bond of friendship, that means you're friends with somebody, your relationship is strong. But they're not. They don't have a strong relationship. They're just some kind of weaker relationship. So we have applicants, that's A. That means you've applied for a job or a school. B, acquaintances. That just means you casually know each other. You might know even their birth date or anything, but you're not close. C, passengers. These are people who are on public transportation of some kind, airplanes, buses, whatever, boats. And then D, philosophers. These are people who spend time thinking about the universe and making theories about how things work. So clearly our choice is B, acquaintances, because it's about a casual relationship between people. Although Catherine and Anita were classmates back in high school, they never formed a bond of friendship. They're just acquaintances.
好，所以虽然呢Catherine 跟 Anita 他们是同学啊 ，back in high school 就回到高中时代的时候呢，他们是同学啊，所以也就是说他们是高中同学，但是他们从来没有 formed 形成 a bond of friendship， 就是一个友谊的关系，而且是蛮强的一种友谊啊，所以他们从来没有真正成为朋友啊，所以他们只是怎么样？我们选 B acquaintances， 就是点头之交啊，只是认识的人。好，我们看其他选项 A applicants 是申请者， C passengers 是乘客， D philosophers 是哲学家，放在这个句子都没有办法有意义，好，所以我们选 B acquaintances。
Number 8. The harsh criticism the rookie actor faced really blank him and even made him consider leaving the series. So a rookie actor is somebody who's new to the job. A series is like usually a TV show where the story is told over a series of episodes. There's like more than one like complete item, but the story is told over like 10 or so of these complete items. That's called a series. And so he considered leaving the series because of the criticism. Criticism is when you'd say terrible things about somebody. They might even be true terrible things. Criticism doesn't mean that you're being mean to somebody. It means you're saying you're doing things wrong because X, Y, Z. So being told that he was wrong all the time really made him feel a certain way. And how did he feel? Did he feel good or bad about it? Obviously bad. So let's look for a word that means made you feel bad. A, flattered. Flattered is when people say nice things to you and you feel good. Motivated is when you feel like, yeah, I can really do this. Strengthened means you feel, oh, I'm even stronger now. I feel better about this. And then we have D, discouraged, which means, oh, I feel like I can't go on. This is terrible. I'm terrible. The world is terrible. D, choose D. The harsh criticism the rookie actor faced really discouraged him and even made him consider leaving the series.
好，所以 the harsh criticism 这个严厉的批评，那什么样严厉的批评呢？这个批评是 the rookie actor， 就是这个菜鸟这个新人演员 faced 他所面对的这样的严厉的批评啊。那怎么样呢？ really 真的使他怎么样啊？那我们要选 discouraged， 因为严厉的批评，而且后面讲到说他几乎想要考虑离开了，所以应该是让他 很沮丧，很心灰意冷，那就是 discourage 这个字的意思。好，所以真的让他觉得很沮丧 really discouraged him。 然后呢，甚至于 made him 让他 consider 考虑，那 consider 后面加 VING 考虑某件事情，考虑做某件事情，所以甚至于让他考虑要离开这个 series 就是这个电视影集啊，也许不一定是电视啊，但就是这个影集。那我们看其他选项 A flattered 是恭维，如果恭维他就不会想离开了。 B motivated 就是给予动机激励，显然也不对。 C strengthened 是使加强或者加强，那如果加强他的话就不会让他考虑要离开了，所以都不对，我们选 discouraged。
Number 9. The building guard in the apartment complex is polite and always greets residents with a blank smile. So an apartment complex, a complex is something that's made up of more than one interconnecting part. So an apartment complex is more than one building or space that's all connected together. If it was just one building, you'd say an apartment building. But anyways, he's the guard of this apartment complex, and he's polite, and he always greets residents, the people that live there, with some kind of smile. So if he's polite, it's going to be a nice smile. So we're looking for a word that means at least nice. So the first word, A, furious, means angry, so no. The second word, B, courageous, means strong in the face of danger, which doesn't quite make sense here. C, gracious, means nice and polite and generous. So that's probably our answer. The last one, D, suspicious, means you look at people thinking you've done something wrong. So clearly not our answer. Let's choose C. The building guard in the apartment complex is polite and always greets residents with a gracious smile.
Building guard 就是大楼的守卫，那 apartment complex 类似我们讲的社区，就这很多很多建筑连在一起的一个社区。那他非常的 polite 有礼貌，而且他总是会 greet 问候 residents 就是居民，也就是住户。用什么问候呢？ with a 那一定是个很好的 smile。那我们选一下 A furious 是愤怒的愤怒的 smile， 这个其实你气的时候很难微笑嘛，所以 A 不对。Courageous 是有勇气的这个住户又不会对他怎么样，他不需要很有勇气的微笑。那 C gracious 这正确答案gracious 就是很有礼貌而且很恭敬的感觉那这样的一个 smile 非常好就是一个礼貌的人通常就会有一个 gracious smile。那这正确答案 D suspicious 可疑的，可能会引起怀疑的某人的 behavior is very suspicious 他的行为很可疑那在这里可疑当然放到的句子不对所以我们不选，我们选 gracious。
And number 10, at a Christian wedding ceremony, the bride and groom typically take a blank before God so that they will stay together in health and in sickness. Oh, it's weird to see it switched around. We usually say in sickness and in health. But okay. So a Christian wedding ceremony, and we have a bride and a groom. The bride is the woman and the groom is the man. And they typically, or they usually, take a something. Another way to say this is to make a something. What do? They make a promise before God that they will take care of each other even if they get sick. So what's a promise before God called? Well, is it A, vow, which is a promise that you make, a very strong promise? Is it B, nap, where you sleep in the middle of the afternoon? Is it C, risk, where you do something dangerous? Or D, toll, where you pay kind of a tax to use something? Clearly, we want to choose A, vow. At a Christian wedding ceremony, the bride and groom typically take a vow before God so that they will stay together in health and in sickness.
所以在一个基督教的婚礼上面wedding ceremony 就是婚礼，那 the bride 新娘还有 the groom 新郎 typically 很典型的也就是通常会怎么样呢？他们会 take a 什么东西 before God 在神的面前take a 什么那我们来看一下 A 选项 take a vow 这应该正确答案 take a vow 就是发誓那 nap 就 take a nap 所以他们婚礼的时候要在上帝面前睡个小觉这个小睡一番午睡那显然不对，所以 B 不对。 C risk 是冒险，他们要在上帝面前冒个险不需要，这是婚礼，所以 C 也不对。 toll take a toll 就是造成了损失或者一些负面的影响放在这个也不对，所以我们选 take a vow 发誓，他们要在上帝面前发誓说 they will stay together 他们会相守在一起in health 健康的时候会在一起， And in sickness, 生病的时候也不会抛下对方，也会在一起。好，所以我们正确答案要选的是 vowel。
Okay, that's all the vocabulary test we have for you today, but please join us again tomorrow for more Ivy English and more interesting articles. Until then, bye-bye.